Good morning from Charlotte, North Carolina, and hello and welcome to EV Motoring. I'm Joe, and it's time for episode 2 of my trip in the Polestar 2 from Chicago to Disney. Episode 1, I drove to Louisville, then to here in Charlotte with a little detour on the tail of the dragon. That was a pretty epic episode, so I definitely recommend checking that out. But if you're just jumping in here, let me tell you about the plan for the day, as well as the car I have. So this is the 2022 Polestar 2. Has an EPA rated range of about 250 miles. Real world is closer to 200, at least on the highway. Charged up to 100% last night. I'll have to see when we get in the car what it's down to, because I've noticed in colder temperatures, it's about 50 degrees right now, the car loses a couple percent overnight. So I don't know if it's running some of the thermals or something to keep the battery happier, or it's just the cold weather confusing the BMS. That is still to be discovered. I haven't figured that out yet, but it's charged up and ready to go, and we'll put in our destination at Disney World for the day and see what our first charging stop is. My sister's schlepping herself out of her condo because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband is dragging further behind, but it's time to hit the road. All right, so it looks like it only lost a couple percent overnight, so at 97%. Just punched in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, and let's add the charging stops and see where we're headed. Hopefully we can skip Columbia. Yep, that looks right. It looks like we're going to just outside of Charleston as our first stop for the trip. So 173 miles down the road, let's hit the road. Welcome to Waltersboro, South Carolina. Let's see what we arrived with. Arrived with 15%. Charging already revved right up to 145 kilowatts at yet another Walmart. So we're gonna go run in, hit the restroom, and then see how much we need to charge before hitting the road. How was the first drive? How was the sleeping? All right, we way overcharged by the time we went to the bathroom and got back. We're already at 54%, so we're gonna go ahead and unplug. Car's trying to send us to a charge point unit in just past Savannah, but I know there's an Electrify America in Pooler, which is just before Savannah. So we're gonna go there because it'll be better speeds at that charging location. And then from there, I think we will jump to Jacksonville. So we're gonna go pick up some Starbucks and then off to Pooler, Georgia.
Starbucks.
Pooler, he said poo.
Jojo. Wait. White peppermint mocha with oat milk.
All right, we just ran into Walmart, walked around, killed some time. Excellent charging session so far. Up to 75%. Speeds have tailed down to 53 kilowatts because we're getting pretty full. However, this is the plan. We're trying to go to this Electrify America here in Jacksonville. It says right now we'll arrive with 1%. So we'll wait a couple minutes more to get that up to like 5%. There's a charger around here in Brunswick. There it is. But it's like 10 minutes off the highway. So it was definitely worth it to charge a little deeper here and skip that one so we don't have that big detour to and from the highway. And we'll just be able to cannonball down the road to get to Jacksonville, Florida. As I said, I don't know if I mentioned, 148 miles to go on this stretch. So we definitely want to make sure we have a little buffer. We are up to 78%. Great charging session. In 32 minutes, we gained 50 kilowatt hours of energy. So that's plenty to make it down the road to Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to unplug and hit the road.
What happened?
I moved the camera so he'd be in the view, and he moved out of the view. So we are 69 miles from the next charger. We have 44%. We should make it there with 10%. But I figured I'd check in and see how the ride's going so far.
Great, super comfortable. My knees in the back of the seat.
So we would recommend the Volvo instead of the Polestar?
It's a nice car, but not as like the rear seat passenger. How about no, Scott?
I don't know if we'll be copyrighted for that.
Oh, well then I won't say that. I'll just say a little something into the camera.
Okay. Any other comments?
Almost out of coffee.
No, I'm good.
So far, we've gone 318 miles today, averaging 37.6 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. So that averages, I think, around 2.7, 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. And pretty good speeds moving down to Disney. So we have 2 more stops. We're going to stop in Jacksonville, and then we will go to most likely Daytona Beach, or it's Ormond Beach, somewhere over there. Reason we skipped Brunswick, I think I mentioned earlier, it's about 10 minutes off the road. So this is one of those times that rather than charger hopping, it was better to get a deeper charge in Pooler, Georgia, because that would have taken too long to detour to Brunswick and then get back on the highway.
You said deeper.
I think we'll leave it there. We just arrived with 15%. In 2 minutes, it's already jumped to 23%. It is flying right now at 155 kilowatt. We're here at the Avenues Mall in Jacksonville. There's a Mach-E charging right here as well. We're gonna go run in, hit the restroom, and we'll be done way before we even get back from just using the restroom. It's only gonna be a 10-minute charge because we only have to go about 60 miles down the road to Ormond Beach. Reason we wanna do that is we don't want to charge to 81% here and arrive at in Disney dead. And we don't want to charge at the Florida Mall because that's by Universal Studios, probably going to be quite busy. Our best bet will be to go to Ormond Beach, charge there to like 65%, probably eat lunch or something like that. That way we'll arrive in Disney with, you know, about 30% to run around with, and we can always level 2 charge when we're at the parks. So run in here for a couple minutes and then we'll be back on the road. Excellent charging session. In 17 minutes, we already have 35 kilowatt hours added. Gonna go ahead and stop because it's only about 60 miles down the road to Ormond Beach, Florida, which is our last charging stop for the day, I think. So we're gonna head down to Ormond Beach. All right, I arrived in Ormond Beach, Florida with 24%, had a ton extra. First, I dropped off Belle and Jeff over at Tropical Smoothie, so they're picking up lunch. And then I came over here. I actually had to call Electrify America because there was an issue when I was unplugging at the last charging stop. I think I had a little bit of it on camera, but the charger was being very sluggish, these old ABB units, unfortunately. And I was pressing stop on the charger, gave it like a minute, it still didn't stop the charge, so I went and forced it to stop on my car. That sometimes in the past has caused an issue where it kind of locks up the app on my phone, and the phone thinks that I'm still charging, so when I get to my next charger, it can create an issue where it won't let you initiate a charge because it thinks you already have one initiating. Another thing interesting about this location, here at a Walmart, as you'd expect, a ton of shipping containers around here though, kind of weird. I went on charger number 6 right here. That's what I was trying to initiate. It was failing. And the reason I went to charger 6 is because charger 5 right here that I'm on was iced by a Kia Telluride. Charger 1, I think this is charger 1 right here. Let's see. No, charger 4 here was broke, but that one was available. So there was an Ioniq 5 on this open space here. The Transit was still here. And this charger is iced by a BMW. So I don't know what's going on at this location, why so many spots were iced, but yeah, this charger supposedly is working. So there's really no excuse for this BMW to be in this spot. And you know, best is when there's the sign right here that the person pulled right into the spot that says, you know, EV parking only, no parking except while charging. And here the BMW is. Typical not following the rules. Pretty good charging session, minus the little issue to get it started, but up to 69% now. It's been 23 minutes, added almost 41 kilowatt hours. So go ahead and stop. Hopefully it stops this time. It's the issue I had with the other charger up north. Let's see. Hopefully it stops. We should arrive in Disney with about 35%, so that'll be pretty good in case we don't get a charger right away. We'll be able to drive for a couple days around. All right, so after about 30 minutes of trying to figure, there is no on-off button. There is no on-off button. The car's on as soon as you got in. So after fooling around, the seat is comfortable. Jeff's gonna drive, so you know the video might end here because we might not make it to the destination. So, yep. He's I think he put it in drive. You want to put it in reverse. There you go. We are in reverse. We are almost moving. Yep. All right, we're moving. We're on our way.
We're gonna die.
Wasn't there a pole? There's no pole on that side,
No, but
right?
there's a car over there.
I know where the car is.
Yeah, it's amazing, the parking job over here. Hey, let me show you this. And Audi pulling in, but look at how this Suburban decided to park over there, just curbing it. And then over here, this Camry pulled up. I looked at her. She got out, looked at the Camry and thought, that's good, and walked into Walmart. People of Walmart in Ormond Beach. Good morning from Lake Buena Vista. It's also the place where Disney World is. We got the Polestar here on a level 2 charger. I'll show you a little bit more about that. First, I'll give you this is obviously a mid-video checkup. We have driven to Disney. We've been here for 5 days. Now just getting a little bit of juice before heading home. So now let's take a look at this level 2 charging situation here. Here at the Marriott, they have, it's called Evo Charge. And it says to activate it with EV Connect. However, when I downloaded the EV Connect app, I was having a little bit of trouble, but I was actually able to initiate the charge with my ChargePoint card, and the charge is actually showing up in my ChargePoint app. So kind of interesting. Be interested if y'all know anything about that. Screen's not showing up well because of my camera, but we've charged almost 61 kilowatt hours overnight. So we're gonna be here for about another hour. So probably another 6 kilowatt hours to that. So we'll be around 85%. We arrived last night after using the car all week, or all weekend and week up here. We're down to about 10%. So worked out perfect to plug it in here at our resort and get some juice. Polestar is looking absolutely filthy, just the way it should on a road trip. We're gonna have to get the windows cleaned. I think they're a little smudgy, not too bad. Hasn't been as many bugs since it was a colder drive from Charlotte down here than my typical summer road trips. But I'll make sure to get that cleaned up for y'all for your viewing pleasure. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like clean windows. Another just walking around the car showing, there's been some bug collection on the front. Also, I'm thinking of replacing one of these with a white square, if you know what that means. It's yesterday, so it'll be a couple months old by the time you see this, the Polestar performance upgrade is available, and it's only $1,200, which I think is a deal. I think Tesla charges $2,000 for their performance upgrade, and it's just downloaded with a software update. We've been trying to avoid using these chargers because it's 33 cents a kilowatt hour, 32 cents a kilowatt hour. If we were able to charge at Disney World, it'd be about the same price. However, the chargers are literally up front, right next to the gate. However, all 5 days that we got to the park, those 4 chargers were occupied so quickly. The interesting thing about it too, almost every day the chargers were occupied by Pacificas and other plug-in hybrids. So people were, using the ability to get to the front gate. And since Disney doesn't charge idle fees, they just charge per kilowatt hour. Those batteries quickly got topped up, and they were able to take advantage of the parking spot up front. One of the shames of it is, they're obviously not going out there and moving their car. They're sitting on the charger all day, and so I'm not able to collect any juice over there. But like I said, luckily there's a charging solution here at the resort. And actually, when I was looking at the PlugShare app, most resorts around here seem to have a charging solution. So that's really great to see. Really helps promote people coming down here on electric car road trips. So I've got everything packed up into the car. They have a little bit more odds and ends to pack up in the room, and then we'll be hitting the road for, actually what we're gonna do is head to the park for a couple hours, then drive up to Charlotte. I'll be sure to, as soon as we start moving, I'll put the amount of charge that we're at, in the bottom corner, as I always do, always providing all the data to help you guys, know how the efficiency of the car and how it's performed in any conditions that I've thrown at it. As far as the route back to Charlotte, it's the exact same route we took. We might be able to skip the charger in Ormond Beach, hopefully, but we probably will have to stop at the charger in Columbia, South Carolina that we skipped because we left with a full charge from Charlotte. So there'll be one different charger on the way home. However, it'll be the same chargers, but with these, I'm not sure what the conditions are. I'm not sure if we're going to run into any rain or wind or stuff. I'll be sure to check that as well. But then for that'll be the end of episode 2 when we get back to Charlotte. Episode 3 will be my drive from Charlotte back home, and I'm going to make sure to take a different route than I took on the way back, just to experience new chargers and give y'all something else to look at rather than just the same trip in reverse. So haven't charted that out completely. Because I'm going to be in Charlotte for a couple days, so I'll take a look at the map and figure out what's the best route home. But until then, I hope you enjoy the scenic drive from here to Disney, and then Disney to most likely Ormond Beach or Jacksonville. All right, unfortunately the trip has to end. Now time to drive back to Charlotte. All right, just punched in the destination. Go ahead and add the charging stops. And it looks like we'll be able to stretch it to Jacksonville just as we hoped with this charging here at Disney World. So we're leaving with 93%, and we should arrive with about 21%, so this will work pretty good. All right, we're here in Jacksonville. We got here with 33%. It was actually a really busy charger when we first pulled up. There was a Bolt that was unplugging, as well as an F-150 that was unplugging. I got here just before this EV6. There was an Ioniq. There still is an Ioniq right behind us. And another Ioniq was over there. The way the parking situation was made me have to park like this and have the cord stretched across into another spot. But it's working. We pulled great speeds right away. And we're already up to 65% because we've been here for 15 minutes already. Want to get to 75% because if we go to Brunswick, I think I talked about this on the way down, it's like 10 minutes off the highway each way to get here. So by skipping Brunswick, charging a little deeper here to 75%, we'll make it up to Pooler, Georgia. We should roll in there with about, 5 to 10%. And then we'll be able to charge up there what we need to get to Columbia, South Carolina. This owner of the Ioniq 5 actually just got their Ioniq 5 like a week ago. The F-150 that was here also just got his F-150 this week. So great to see new people using the charging network and, enjoying their electric experience. Car's looking great. Great weather. I mean, we've been in Disney for 5 days, never rained a drop. So can't get better than that. All right, we are up to 77%, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the charge. We'll hit the road, should arrive with between 5 and 10% in Pooler, Georgia. It's about 150-ish miles down the road. I'll get the exact number as soon as we get in the car, but yep, next stop, Pooler, Georgia. welcome back to Pooler, Georgia. Just went over to Zaxby's, which is across the street, somewhere over there. Just plugged in. Was having a little bit of a issue with the app, just being fidgety. Kind of still had that lockdown. It had the last charger locked in, thinking we were still there. It's the same problem that happened on the other way. For some reason, some issue happened with that charger in Jacksonville, but arrived with 14%, revved right up to 150 kilowatts. Using this unit again because it worked great last time. I don't usually like to use the Chatamo unit, but you know what? We're staying right here by the car, and if a Nissan Leaf shows up, I'll be more than happy to unplug and let the Nissan plug in. Ate our Zaxby's, ran into Walmart to get essentials. What are those essentials?
Peanut butter M&Ms, which are friggin' disgusting, and a totally delicious chocolate Three Musketeers thing.
And due to all this gallivanting around, way overcharged. Our next stop is Waltersboro, which was our first stop of the way down. So let's go see what our charge is at and unplug.
Bye.
Yep, charged up to 63%. Gonna go ahead and stop it there. I think it's about 45 miles down the road to Waltersboro. Arrived with 32%. Charger's ramping up right now. We have to charge to at least 57%. So probably go to like 55%. And yeah, should be here for about 10 minutes. Look at that, revving up to already 140. Should get up to 150 for at least a few minutes. So in the time it took to go to the restroom, this 11-minute charge is already done. And time to head off to Columbia, South Carolina. One stop left to go. Fans are ripping on the car. I had to call tech support to get this charge activated. After I got it activated, we went into a relatively sketchy Walmart over there. You know, never a dull moment on this drive home. Already up to 54%. Basically, I was having an issue with my app. My app wasn't showing this charger here. I think it was something on my end. Something was wrong with my app. I tried resetting it and then tried signing out and deleted it off my phone and, you know, tried a couple different things, but I was kind of getting caught up. So that one, you know, if it's taken more than a couple minutes, it's worth it to just call tech support and get the charge started right away rather than, you know, spending too much time fidgeting. I was also trying to tap the card reader. That wasn't activating either. So not sure if it was an Electrify America issue or if it was an issue on my side, but I'm pretty sure it was my side. So yeah, up to 55%. Time to unplug and get out of Columbia, South Carolina and get home to Charlotte.
What is that?
iPhone.
I know why.
So as I mentioned, yeah, some of the passengers of this bus are getting disgruntled, and it's time to just get them home so they can go to sleep and stop whining. It's 89 miles to Charlotte. We should arrive with 12%. That'll give me a couple extra percent to make it to wherever the destination charge I'm going to use is. Might use the same one I used before the trip at the Polypore company. Thanks again to them for giving us the charge. Navigation, of course, is talking over me again. Any thoughts from the peanut gallery?
No, drive.
What did we think of this Walmart?
I gotta get up at 5 a.m. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention when I was charging, this charging stop was just about 4 miles out of the way. So we were on I-95 North. Then I don't know what we veered on to go
26.
towards 26 towards Charlotte, and that's what took us to Columbia. But then we had to go 4 miles out of the way on whatever interstate this is. Oh, still 26. So, yeah, so that essentially adds like 8 minutes of driving just to get to this charger. So it would be nice if there was a charging location in more or less downtown Columbia, not this far off the road. But yeah, we made it, for lack of a better word. All the charges got done one way or another, and now time to wrap up the final drive to Charlotte. So I'll roll the rest of the B-roll to get there, and at the end I'll include all the data on how the efficiency was for the, both ways to Disney World and back. Now it's time to just get Belle and Jeff's opinion of what they thought of their first electric car road trip.
I think it's really good for short distances or as a home commuter vehicle. The comfort of this one is definitely not stellar. The drink holder in the back sucks, and I don't know, for cruising trips, this isn't my bag.
So all Polestar related issues for her, it sounds like.
Seems so, but it's my only EV trip really, so that's all I got to compare it to.
Okay. So hopefully, if you want us to do the same trip in a Lucid Air, please subscribe so we can afford one. And until then, take care until next time. Unless Jeff has anything to say.
I'm thinking of buying petroleum stock.
All right, and on that bombshell, it's time to end the episode.